The reason why I was bringing up Owen's comment is because we've also seen it under Mikel Arteta. Emil Smith Rowe, he's not a 10. Is he not a 10? He played as a left winger for Arsenal, and he did a damn good job. He occupied a similar space to what I would expect Eze to occupy, and he was drifting in from the left wing, occupying a little bit more central areas at times in that left half space, and giving us a lot of threat, scoring a lot of goals. And I could see a similar situation where he plays him similar to how he had Smith Rowe playing in that position earlier.
He also played Smith Rowe up front, though. To be fair, so do you know what I mean?
He played really, Smith Rowe.
Yeah, he played him as a false 9. So really, I don't really trust what this manager does with players.
No, he played him as a left winger.
Remember the Villarreal. Yeah, and he also had him up front in some games. Villarreal comes to mind as a false 9. So do you know what I mean? I get your point,
okay,
but I just don't really trust what this manager will do with Eze out on the wing.
So we pick a one-off, right, to make everything sound ridiculous. Honestly,
do you think Eze's got the defensive quality?
Majority of the time that Emil Smith Rowe was at Arsenal, was he not playing as a left winger?
Out of position, yeah. That's the point. And that's the point we're saying about Eze. If you play him left winger, Gal,
he will
be playing out of position.
Eden Hazard out of position as a left winger?
Oh, so now you're changing it all to make it look.
It's another 10. I know. I'm keeping it consistent. It's another 10 playing as a left winger.
Eden Hazard. So what are we comparing now, Gal? Are we comparing a Gal? Eden Hazard? Are we doing that with Eze? Is that what we're doing?
I'm comparing 10s. I'm comparing.
We're going to compare him with Lionel Messi in a minute.
What is wrong with it? What is wrong? Can I angle that differently, then, Gal? What is wrong with Eze playing as a 10? Is it because Odegaard would have to be dropped or something?
No, because our best team would have him as a left winger.
What about his defensive qualities then? Because Arteta likes his wingers to track back and defend. Eze's got no qualities in that department, does he?
He played at Crystal Palace where he had to defend a lot. Also, he's already used to that.
Not in a left wing position, he never.
Boys, I just don't know why Mikel Arteta can't sign a player and just play him in his goddamn position.
Why can't we Why can't we have Eze created in a 10?
First of all, we're arguing over
all over the place. Just play him in his position.
We're arguing over something irrelevant. Because at the end of the day, let me show you why it's slightly irrelevant. Because at the end of the day, we signed Ben White and Timber, who were considered centre backs. We played them at fullback. We signed Calafiori. Who's considered a defender, a centre back. We play him at fullback. We signed multiple players. Declan Rice, who we consider DM, we play him as a box-to-box midfielder.
So you're proving my point nicely. Thank you very much.
Just because you think a player is bought for this specific job doesn't necessarily mean there's that job.
Top man, I appreciate you proving my point there.
No, people are just naturally presuming that Eze plays on the
player is in a box.
That whole squad's all over the place. Mikel Marino's out of position. Havertz is out of position. Jesus is out of position. You've got all the left backs. Every single one of them are out of position. Ben White's out of position. They're all the goalkeeper and the two centre backs. They're all out of position. Why can't you just sign a player and play him in his strongest position? Why has everything got to be this? I'm a fake little genius. Why can't you just buy number 10 and play him a number 10? Why can't you just do that?
All right.
It's ridiculous.
Time for heat maps. Tell me, does this look like a 10 or does this look like a left-sided player? That is his whole entire Premier League campaign in 2024, 2025. Then 2023, 2024, once again.
Yeah, but look where he's more centrally, isn't he? He's not an out-and-out left winger, is he?
No, but that's I'm showing you.
He's not. No. Go back to it then, again.
I'm showing you multiple seasons.
Put it up. Let's have a look at it.
I'm not done. Let's have a look at it. This is another time.
No, go back.
It's not central. It's more in the mid. It's more on either wing.
Go back. I'm telling you what, because if you put Odegaard's heat map up, it'd be quite similar. So go back.
Okay, we could do that.
So Odegaard's going to be our new cover right winger now.
Let me finish.
So Odegaard's going to be a right winger, is he? Because that's very similar to Odegaard. That looks more central to me. That doesn't look like a winger to me. Why don't you compare it? Why don't you compare that with Martinelli then?
We'll compare it with Martinelli in a second. How about this? This is his 2020-2021 season, predominantly on the left wing, drifting inside.
Give you that in 2021, forward. But we haven't. But
then you go forward. Then you go to. Sorry, DJB, please let me just finish this, and then you can say whatever you need to say, and I'll show you whatever whatever you want to see. Number 2 is the 2021-2022 season, as you can see, predominantly on the left wing. Then you go to the 2023 2023 season. That season he played on both wings. He rotated, and you can see he's once again not playing centrally, playing on either wing. Then here, once again, 2023, 2024. This season, you can see he's a lot more central, but that's because he's drifting in from that left-hand side. It's not like he's in the middle. Then you go to the next season, which is last season, and once again, coming in from that left-hand side, a little bit more central, but at the same time, more on the left-hand side rather than in the middle. So at no point was he actually playing as a central 10. He was always a left-sided player drifting inwards. He's an inside forward from the left-hand flank.
Or Odegaard's heat map up, it'd be very, very similar. You'd be calling him a right winger then.
Martin Odegaard is a right-sided 8.
So, in your opinion, you think that Eze is going to be more effective, that's going to win us the Premiership if he plays on the left? Bearing in mind that this manager likes his wingers to defend as well as attack, because Saka has not been used in the final third effectively enough because he spent half of his time defending and covering. That's why we want him further up the pitch, scoring goals where he's more dangerous, playing in the final third. But he's not been able to do that. And he's not going to be able to do that in the next 4 weeks. He's not going to be able to do that in the next 4 weeks because he's injured again. But what I'm trying to say is Eze would be more effective in a more central position than he would in the left wing. That is my opinion, and that is mostly the opinion of any Crystal Palace fan.
You're changing his position. You're changing his position then.
Sorry, Gal, be consistent. What you always say, you're always consistent. That's apparently what you say. Put the Odegaard stat up. Don't just do one. Do both of them. I think that's fair. And we'll have a little goosey.
All right, here we go. Odegaard. What is this? 2024-2025 season. The whole right-hand side.
Oh, that's it.
Side.
Yeah,
not just one season.
Similar to Eze's. But he's a right winger.
Now the other seasons, don't just do one season again. Let's not be
dishonest here.
Hang on a minute. Whoa, there's Odegaard.
Let's not be dishonest here. Eze, you can clearly see was much more red closer to the wing and drifting in. Odegaard is the whole pitch almost.
Not one.
Really?
Not one. You're just saying what you want to see, Miguel. It's very similar.
What are you saying, brother? Because would you say that is very similar to Eze?
Back again. Oh, look, exactly the same.
Oh, look.
But Odegaard's the winger.
Hang on a minute. But Odegaard's not a right winger, is he, Gal?
So what you're saying as well is if we was to be buying Odegaard now, if we was to buy Odegaard, you'd play him at right wing based on your logic and metric. If we was to buy Odegaard now, you'd play him as a right winger. That's exactly what you're saying with Eze. You cannot escape that. Well, yeah, it is. It's exactly the same.
That's what you're saying, Gal.
If we was to buy Odegaard now, we'd play him as a right winger.
Gal, you've just shown us the heat map of Eze, right? And I said to you, bring up the heat map of Odegaard and it'll be similar. Anyone that walks in this room now would not be able to tell you whether that was Odegaard or Eze. And yet you're classifying Eze as more effective on the left. On that basis, Odegaard's a right winger because there's no difference.
Odegaard is clearly a right-sided 8. We play with 2 8s.
But his heat map says he's a winger.
If I pull up Declan Rice's, it will probably be the same as what do you call it?
So basically, then if you do that, then your heat map is just a load of bollocks. That's what it is. Then if you're pulling up and everyone's is the same, then basically the bit of evidence that you brought to prove your point's an absolute load of shit. If they all look the same, it's just in it. You can't use that if they all look the same. So what one is it, Gal? What one, mate? What one is it?
To be fair, Declan Rice plays everywhere.
Oh, is he a winger as well?
We're talking about Odegaard and Eze. Eze's
no, but Odegaard definitely stays more. Odegaard definitely stays more on the right side, but he's not a winger because we see him. We see what Odegaard does and what areas he picks up the ball. Obviously,
what we should be doing is we should be looking at a proper winger in the Premier League, and
majority of the time he is playing with Saka.
Now, what we should have done, right, and it comes down to the manager again, is way back in June, this club should have gone all out and got Rodrigo, who's a proper out and out left winger, and put Eze in the 10 and dropped the captain that's been pushing stinkers for the last 2 seasons.
All of a sudden, then you're looking at a naughty team. Can you imagine Arsenal lining up And you've got Rice and Odegaard as Rice and Zubimendi as a double pivot. You got fit Saka on the right hand side of Rodrigo and Eze in the 10 and Gyökeres up top. You're looking at that squad and you're like, yeah, man.
That might be a nice segue.
Wait.
That might be a nice segue.
Somebody asked to see Martinelli's though, right?
Okay, go on then, quickly though, because I want to move this on because this is boring me, so it must be boring everyone else.
Martinelli literally just goes to the corner flag. Pretty bad.
Yeah, I know. He can stay the other side of it.
Shame he's fallen off of a cliff under this
Martinelli's heat map.
Oh look, that's a little bit different to Eze, isn't it?
No, but he literally just goes to the corner flag. That's all.
No, he's literally on the left-hand side, Egal. That's completely different to Eze's, and that's completely different.
Obviously, we're not going to play Martinelli and Eze in the same way.
Oh dear. Dan, what was it that you had lined up, my friend?
The whole thing about the Eze left, like obviously we don't watch Palace every week, but if we just go on the sample side of just this season, he's played left Community Shield and against Chelsea, and he was the best player on the pitch both games. So that should give us enough confidence to say he can be a brilliant left winger. Now, even if he's not a typical left winger, he's still better on the left than our left wingers. A lot better. He's a lot better than Martinelli, and he's a lot better than Trossard. So that should give us a lot of confidence. Having him in the 10 and Odegaard on the bench and having Martinelli or Trossard on the left, I don't want Martinelli or Trossard on the pitch at all. So that's going to be a weaker team. So he's a much better left winger than what we have. So we should be open to that idea and be excited by it, because Eze on the left sounds a lot more prominent and more of an attack than having Martinelli or Trossard on the pitch. That's the difference. If we had Rodrigo in the team, for example, and I can understand the point of having him in the 10, but we don't. So why are we not excited about having Eze on the left and Odegaard in the 10 and Saka on the right? That should be an exciting front three. With that front four and Gyökeres up top, that's as good as any in the league. Eze left, Saka right, Gyökeres up top is as good as any attack in the league. So I'm not too sure why we're so focused on Eze has to be in a 10, he has to be in a 10, he has to be in a 10. I'm not really too sure why we're focused on that.
D.
Yeah, it's his position.
Plain and simple. That's his position. That's
it's only his position until it's not.
What do you mean?
It's only his position until we decide to play him on the left and he performs on the left. If he starts performing on the left, then
he's out of position though, and not in his most creative and natural position. The whole idea of having being a 10. You're playing out of position. You're probably not going to operate to the highest level of ability. That might still be at a high level, by the way. But if you're a number 10, you're a number 10.
It's not about whether or not you think that he's performing to the higher level enough of where his best position is. It's about whether he's performing higher enough to get us to win the league. That's what it's about. It's not about whether he performs well enough. Like Timber's best position is not left back, it's right back. But sometimes we need him to play left back because it suits the game.
Yeah, but there's a difference between what you're saying is, what you're saying there is, my position is changing him there for one game, doing that as a job. But you boys are saying that use that as this whole new position. That's a totally different conversation. Maybe I can see what point you're making. Maybe you could use him in the sparing game, but you boys and Egal, you're talking about he is a left winger. He is not.
But as
using him sparingly in the left wing, I can get it for some games, but he's not.
Who's the alternative? It depends on what the alternative is as to why it makes sense, doesn't it? If our alternative is, like I say, Rodrigo or an old school Hazard, then fair enough. But our alternatives right now are Martinelli and Trossard and Reece Nelson. So if you've got Odegaard in the team, you've got Eze in your team, you've got Saka in the team, you've got all these players on the pitch. The alternatives to play left wing, it has to be Eze.
I don't know what you're saying, but he's better than them by default because they're shit. Not because Eze is an unbelievable left winger. He's better than them because Trossard and Martinelli are shit. That's the only reason why. It's just by default.
That's not the only.
If you had a Rodrigo there, would you play him at left wing?
If I had a Rodrigo in the team. No, but we don't have a Rodrigo. That's the point of why.
Exactly, yeah, but so then you're proving my point. You're fudging him on the left-hand side because you haven't got a proper left winger. If you did have a proper left winger, would you play as a left wing? No.
But that's the point, though. The point is we don't have a proper left winger. That's the whole point.
Go get one and play as in his proper position. That's the point. by
No, that's
players
not
and play in their actual position.
No. That's not the point, Aaron.
Go get a left winger for a left winger. Go get a number 10 for number 10. Go get a left back for a left back. Why have we always got to piss around?
That's like saying why are we playing Saka right wing? Because Saka wasn't a right winger.
No, not when he was a baby. No, not when he was
No,
a
but
pup.
I'm saying the point I'm making is
young age.
Eze is mature enough.
Eze's 27
and good enough to play left wing. If he
and
can't
do a job. You're right. I agree with you. But he's not a left winger. He'll only be a better left winger because our left wingers are shit.
Okay, let me tell you what's going to happen.
Left back than Calafiori as well.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. Yeah. So when he starts performing on the left, yeah, are you going to say now he's good enough to play on the left? What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for him to prove
I'm waiting for a left winger so we can play him in.
No, but let's imagine he goes left wing. Let's imagine he goes left wing. He starts playing left wing because this is what's going to happen, and he's going to perform. Are you then going to say, oh, you know what? He is good enough to play left? Is that what you're going to say? Or are you going to say, no, he needs to play in the 10? Because that's the best
I'll say,
position.
boom, excellent. Eze's pretty good there. Now let's buy a left winger because we obviously
exactly. So that's exactly my point. Your point is that he has to play in his position no matter what. You're not worried about the team. You're worried about Eze individually. It's the wrong. You're worried about the wrong thing.
That's what I believe would be best for the squad and go out and get a left winger. Why do we just have to keep patching things? I don't get it.
Let me make a point, right? I'm gonna do something I don't normally do. I'm gonna disagree with everybody so far, and the reason I'm gonna disagree with everybody so far is because I ain't seen Eze play in an Arsenal shirt yet. I don't know if he's gonna be good on the wing. I don't know if he's gonna be good in the left 8. I don't know if he's gonna be good in the attacking 10. I ain't got a clue. For me, I think he's more central. However, I have seen him do things on the left for England and Palace as well. So I ain't got a clue what he's going to do so far, if I'm honest with you. If Odegaard is out, I would rather see Eze in the middle. If he's not and he has to play on the left, then obviously Ethan will come into the middle. But I wanted to kind of sort of get an opinion from people because I think what we have proven is we have got a little bit of squad depth there. I know some people in the chat were going, oh, it looks terrible. It looks awful still. We don't have the best squad. Look at the state of it. I didn't actually think that looked a mess, if I'm honest. I mean, we've got Odegaard and Havertz and Saka that are out. So, we believe Odegaard could be back, but we don't know. So I need to see Eze play in the left or the 10 and make my decision because I hadn't seen him play for Arsenal yet. So that's what I wanted to say, really.